What fictional death emotionally destroyed you? Up. You know. As a child, it was Charlotte the Spider. John Coffey. Like the drink, only not spelled the same. The Girl in Bridge to Terabithia. The Horse from Neverending Story. I was like 5 and just broke down. Seymour, Fry's dog. Broke me. You're walking on sunshine now, you loyal little buddy. When they killed the wolf in Dances with Wolves. The horse in the Never-Ending Story. That horse didn't deserve to die. Henry Blake, MASH. Ellie from Up. Absolutely destroyed. In less than 10 minutes. Hank. Mars Hughes from Full Metal Alchemist. Joyce in Buffy. Not Penny's boat. Wear his glasses. He can't see without his glasses. Hodder. Rue, Hunger Games. Glenn, Walking Dead. David Tennant as the Doctor on Doctor Who. Ned Stark. It was so unnecessary and unexpected that it made the story seem real. Katniss's little sister, Prim, from the Hunger Games. I was maybe 10 when I first read that book and damn, I was not ready for that shit. Littlefoot's mother. Housey spelling. Orange is the new black. Spock in the Wrath of Khan. Arthur Morgan. You know it's coming but it still leaves you broken. Marshall's dad in How I Met Your Mother. Anyone who has lost a family member and learned from a phone call unexpectedly, you know the sadness. Artax. I'm old now and thinking about it even now makes misty. Wilson. John Marston. Opie from Sons of Anarchy. Stoic from How to Train Your Dragon. The Brachiosaurus in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That was supposed to be the same Brachiosaurus from the original Jurassic Park. Tara from Buffy. Tara from True Blood. They just need to stop killing off Taras. Wash. As an adult I'm largely unaffected by fictional deaths, but I know when I was 8 or 9 my mom peeked into my room and found me sobbing my eyes out, reading the end of Where the Red Fern Grows. When the Jewish soldier in Saving Private Ryan gets that slow death by knife. The dad in About Time. The Last Train for Busan movie, the end is horrible. Sybil in Downton Abbey. The scene is so heart-wrenching. Watching everyone in the family suddenly release she is gone. Not a death per se, but the episode where Courage the Cowardly Dog lost his parents really got to me. Seeing baby Courage crying alone in an alleyway broke my heart as a kid. Thank God Muriel found and adopted him soon after. Sirius Black. Bing Bong from Inside Out. Old Yeller. Setsuko in Grave of the Fireflies. To this day I haven't gone back to watch it. Bambi's mom. Little and an Old Dan. I get sad just thinking about it. In the original fable you get to a point where you can save your blind long-lost sister or sacrifice her for the most powerful sword in the game. Young teen me sacrificed her for the Sword of Eons and I was so guilt-strapped over that I had trouble sleeping. I watched Thelma Louise for the first time last year. I was under the impression that Thelma and Louise Dukes of Hazzard their way to freedom at the end of the movie. Imagine my surprise. Bill and Frank in The Last of Us, show version. Beautifully sad. The Boy in Pay It Forward. I was so unprepared for it and after the shock wore off, I couldn't rationalize it in my head. Why? What purpose? Like, are you trying to get people to not pay it forward? Ygritte from Game of Thrones. Along with like half the rest of the cast. Damn, that show really loved to kill all the fun people. The kid from My Girl. Rita from Dexter. I hadn't heard anything about it before watching a few years ago. Marley in Marley and Me. I drowned in a pool of tears. Had to be me. Someone else might have gotten it wrong. Kenny from South Park. Just didn't see it coming. Glenn from Walking Dead. The Red Shoe from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's so sad, poor little dude. Lenny from Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men. My man Thufir Hawat. Edith Bunker. That shit hurt like I lost my own mom instead of a TV character. George O'Malley. It made me stop watching the show. Artax. Was only about 6 when I was watching this movie. Claudia Interview with the Vampire. Where do you think we are? Scrubs. I got this. Sons of Anarchy. I would have followed you, my brother, my captain, my king. Fellowship of the Ring. Rocket, Teefs, Floor Go Now. Guardians 3. I Got You Baby Girl. The Last of Us. Joshua FF16. Thank You for Loving Me. One Piece. Soap MW3. And vs Suicide in Cyberpunk 2077, in particular the reactions of his friends during the credits. When Opie bought it in Sons of Anarchy, I literally felt ill. It stuck with me too. He deserved better. Bing Bong. Fuck you, Pixar. Jiraiya Sensei. Fucking E.T. God, that was brutal. Had to turn the movie off. Dobby. More Than Dumbledore. Mark Green from ER. Man, I was destroyed even knowing it was coming. This one is obscure and not technically a death, but Kartik from Libba Bray's A Great and Terrible Beauty series. Bitch Affectionate turned him into a tree. I have never sobbed so much while reading a book as I did the sweet far thing. Sam in I Am Legend. I was a mess for the rest of the day. Nina in FMA. I am usually a cold-hearted bastard. I laughed all through IT. I rolled my eyes and said, just fucking jump already at Javit's suicide in Les Miserables. But holy shit, what the Seed of Life alchemist did to his daughter. Her whole "you said you'd come play with me" line. I almost cried. That shit cut deep. Gus in Lonesome Dove. Ragnar, Lagatha from Vikings. And Sweets from Bones. Henry Blake. John Coffey. Keegan Gin. I knew he wasn't going to stick around to episode 4, but they did my bit dirty. I have no idea why, but as a kid he was my favorite Jedi. Padme. Murdered by her own man. Her last vision was him turning to the dark side and choking her out. Dom in Gear of War 3. Kenny McCormick. Goddamnit, I told myself I wasn't gonna cry. Storm's death in Odd Thomas book. That one hit me directly in the feelers. Beth March. Joel from Last of Us. I knew Joel was gonna die after I googled the first hour of gameplay for Tlu P2 while I was installing it on my PS5. I had just beat Tlu, so I'm very emotionally attached at the time. I saw Joel get his brains bashed in and cancelled the install, and to this day I haven't played it, still own it though. All of them at the end of the movie